The Sunday night anxiety. You spent 30 years dreaming of this moment. Retirement. The golden years. You thought you'd finally have time to breathe, to travel. Or to simply enjoy the silence of a house that is finally yours. You imagined mornings without an alarm clock and afternoons spent lost in a hobby you abandoned decades ago. But what is your reality? Every Sunday evening at 7 p.m., your chest tightens. Every time that phone vibrates on the coffee table, you feel a wave of dread. The moment you see your daughter's name on the screen, your peaceful week is shattered before it even begins. Even before you pick up, you already know what she's going to say. Mom, I'm so sorry, but the sitter canceled at the last minute. I have to be at work early. Can I drop the kids off 10 minutes before your usual time? This isn't a request. It's an announcement. Deep inside, you want to say no. You had plans to meet your high school friends tomorrow. And you were supposed to finish the gardening you've been putting off. But the words that actually leave your lips are always the same. Of course, honey. Just bring them over. Why? Why can't you protect your own time? It's because you fear that the moment you say no, you'll be labeled the cold grandmother or the selfish mother. But today, we are going to talk about the brutal truth that no one dares to say out loud. You are not a spare tire for your children's lives. You are a human being who has already finished her shift. Today, through a letter from a woman named Linda, we're going to dive deep into why we fell into this trap and how we can finally get out. Part 1. The Modern Toxic Entitlement. Linda is a 68-year-old woman living in Florida. In her letter, she wrote, "My daughter always explains in detail how hard her life is. She tells me daycare costs as much as a mortgage, and that her career will be over if I don't help. How can I say no when she's crying right in front of me?" This is the modern trap of filial duty. Adult children are weaponizing their struggles. Their difficulties are real. The economy is tough, and childcare is expensive. But here is the sharp edge we need to address: your children aren't just asking for help. They are expecting it as a right. In Western society, family bonds are sacred. But in 2025, the idea of family first has been twisted. Adult children are holding your retirement hostage for their own financial gain and convenience. They tell you, "But Mom, you love seeing the grandkids. They're so much happier when they're with you." This is emotional gaslighting. They are using your love for your grandchildren to extract free labor from you. Linda remembers raising her own children with half the resources and none of the modern technology we have today. She did it alone, without treating her own parents like an unpaid nanny service. So why do today's adult children treat their parents like a 24/7 on-call service center? It's because they believe your time has zero value. Just because you are at home doesn't mean your schedule is empty. This isn't respect. This is exploitation. Part 2. The Physical and Mental Toll. Linda confessed a heartbreaking truth in her letter. "Sometimes when I hear my grandkids laughing, I don't feel joy. I feel a hot, burning resentment deep in my chest. I find myself wondering why I'm still changing diapers and cleaning up spilled milk at my age." This is a textbook case of grandparent burnout. Your knees aren't what they used to be. Your back screams every time you lift a toddler. Your blood pressure rises, and you lose sleep. But the mental toll is even worse. When you cancel your Tuesday book club to handle a school run. A small piece of your identity dies. You are no longer Linda, an independent woman with her own life. You are just an unnamed, unpaid employee, wearing a grandma badge. The worst part is that your children don't see your sacrifice. They only see the loving grandma mask you wear to keep the peace. That mask is exactly what gives them the permission to keep using you. You are suffering in a prison built out of your own kindness. Part 3. Reclaiming your life through boundaries. Finally, Linda reached her breaking point. One morning, when her daughter showed up unannounced, Linda stood her ground at the door and said the words she had practiced. "I'm sorry, but I can't do it today. I have my own plans, and my body needs rest. Moving forward, I cannot provide childcare. That hasn't been scheduled with me in advance." Her daughter's face changed instantly. Confusion turned into irritation, and then the arrows started flying. "Mom, how can you be so selfish? You know I have an important meeting today. Don't you care about my job?" Selfish. That is the word every senior dreads. But Linda didn't flinch. She replied calmly, "If having my own life is selfish, then what do you call taking my time for granted? I raised you, and now I have the right to live my own life." The world didn't end. Her daughter found a local sitter, and Linda finished her gardening. More importantly, when her daughter visited the following weekend, she didn't come to drop off the kids, she came to have lunch with her mother. Setting a boundary is not an act of war. It is an act of self-preservation. A relationship built on exploitation will always end in resentment. But a relationship built on mutual respect can finally grow deep. When you say no, you are teaching your children how to be responsible adults. I want to ask you, the person watching this, who is that woman in the mirror? Is she just a cook, a sitter, and a backup plan? Or is she a woman with dreams, hobbies, and a limited amount of time left on this beautiful earth? Your time is the most precious currency you possess. And every day, that balance gets a little smaller. Why are you spending all of it on someone else's life? I want to leave you with one very painful, honest question. If you stopped being useful to your children tomorrow, would they still visit you just as often? Would they still call every week just to hear your voice? Or is your free labor the only thing keeping them around? If that question makes you uncomfortable, that is your sign. It is time to set a boundary. What is your story? Have you felt like a free babysitter in your own family? How did your children react when you tried to say no? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might be the key that helps someone else escape their prison. We are more than just the help. Your life is just beginning. Subscribe for more honest conversations for our generation. You are not alone.